Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. My goodness, a little messy there. Okay, let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say? What do they have to say? And so our card for tonight is the Queen of Swords. She is very perceptive, very intelligent, sometimes a little shrewd, a little cold, maybe. Sometimes we have to be, don't we? All right. Goodness, that thing was really making some noise there. Okay, let's see. What do we have? First, the thing that kind of stands out to me is this shoe right here. And it looks like we have an E, an uppercase E. It almost looks like the shoe is about to kick that E out of here. Maybe don't do that too quickly. I think with this, I feel like with this Queen of Swords energy, which in the card, she's holding the head of someone. And she is what I call the head collector archetype. This is like Judith, Salome, I don't know, various other depictions of women, usually pretty sly women. I guess they would be categorized as, or hypersexualized, or, you know, whatever. But the interesting thing about this archetype is seeing through all of the BS, doing what one must with stealth, cunning even sometimes, but knowing how to move, right? And this ability to be perceptive is usually a good thing, right? But I think that at times, although you may have you have the resolve and the ability to control yourself so that you can move as if you were playing chess. Sometimes though we just jump to conclusions. And I won't say that I'm the smartest person in the world, but I am perceptive. And I do see what's going on to some degree around me. I see how people move. I think about why they're doing things, what they could do. I anticipate. And a lot of this is because I grew up around addiction, right? When you have people who are volatile around you, who you live in a home with, you learn. You just do. And, but the thing that happens, and I'm not saying just people who grew up around this kind of stuff, anybody who has a strong foresight. Who does anticipate, right? We can have a tendency to anticipate the worst. Sometimes, you know, it's easier just to cut things off before you have to go through the struggle of it all. So I think when I see the shoe, I see an E, maybe this is a name, maybe, you know, something like that. But I feel like, you know, there's a feeling of wanting to boot this person out. It could be, like I said, an E name, somebody with an E, career path, some kind of word that maybe describes them. Or maybe this is not a person at all. It could be, you know, hey, it could be the election. Kick it right out of here. I'm not ready for all that talk yet. Oh my goodness. But here it comes, right? So anyways, you know, sometimes we get into this place immediately. You notice something that feels out of place. Something's not right. And I see we have some kind of, maybe like a gargoyle or, you know, some kind of animal in a posture to guard. Come on, it came so slow. Sometimes they just roll right down and go off. But so I see you in a guarded position. You are in a guarded posture. I see that kind of mirrored up here as well. And I think gargoyle because, you know, they're one of my favorite household spirits, guarding the entrances or the uppermost part of buildings, homes. And I mean, what can you do about this besides reason with yourself? And also, you know, we like to go off our intuition, which we should. It can be difficult, a difficult dance to figure out, where am I overreacting? Where is something actually happening? You know, ultimately, we know. And I think a lot of times, you know, things manifest without fully connecting. Why do you know, why does somebody rub you the wrong way? Why does somebody's energy put you off? Why do you notice when somebody's like routine or behavior changes quickly? And, you know, you just know. You know, and ultimately you have to kind of figure out, what are you going to do with that? I would say, usually, you know, protect yourself. And you should always, right? And, you know, this is difficult for me because I try to give advice about these kinds of things. Although I am terrible, I cut people off quickly. I don't, and not out of meanness, I just don't, I don't like to be uncomfortable. And, you know, like doing a channel like this has been hard for me because a lot of people make me uncomfortable. Not because they've done anything in general, like, or specifically, I mean, and it's just my own stuff, you know. So I think, you know, I can sit here and tell you, you know, don't jump to conclusions, but you know, you know something's really up. And I don't know exactly who this is or what this is, but I see the heart here. And I also see kind of a hook here, and it feels like somebody who you perceive to they get their hooks into people. That they're insincere, inauthentic maybe. Maybe they are, you know, downright fake. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Dangerous, you know. I have a feeling it's financial. But it, you know, with somebody, I don't know if this is somebody you love or if this is somebody who's maybe trying to get in close with somebody you love. I don't know. I want to keep looking though. And I know this one, I hate when I have readings where they're not super clear to me. I'm just kind of, I'm searching here. And so when we turn it upside down, we do kind of have the cobra. So I wonder, here I see kind of an electricity bolt. And here is interesting because it looks kind of like a little hole, maybe like a keyhole. And so I wonder if this is also maybe domestic. Somebody who's moved in, somebody who's trying to move in. And I feel like you just have this, something they did. I mean, they really, and it hit you. It just did. It was like a strike of lightning. And, you know, I understand that. I try, you know, as like, you know, I've talked about my, well, I'm in recovery and I've had, you know, all kinds of different things going on in my life that have led to having PTSD. So it's hard sometimes for me to trust, like, you know, what am I feeling here? Am I overthinking things? I don't know. Is this a reaction? I don't know. But what I do know is that I've really become, in my, you know, almost 40s, very, very just brutal about not letting people who make me feel weird into my life. And I don't really care what that, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, like, I just don't care, like, what's beneath all that. I'm not mean about it. I don't like to be mean about, you know, and nobody, it's not my place to tell people why I think you make me feel whatever. I just, you know, you'll know. And so I feel like you're not unlike me in this way. I feel like this is definitely a Pisces thing though too. Pisces, no offense, you guys, gals, guys, everything else in between, you all are amazing at ghosting people. You really are, which I admire. I'm not that great at that. I just avoid a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, I feel like, and you know what, we have a bird sitting here, and I feel like, honestly, this is almost kind of like somebody you love who has passed kind of really in your ear about this. And I feel like this, like, immediate, it just is so funny, like when you have somebody that you are trying to give them room in your existence, right? To get to know them, or you've known them and, you know, maybe they aren't your favorite person, but you try, you try, you try. And then suddenly they say something, they do something, and it becomes so clear to you. And so I thought this was going to be more just like, you have to be the bigger person here. Don't jump to conclusion. Well, I think you know that something's up with them. And I think with the snake, I think with your family coming through, they really are not very, I won't say they're unsafe necessarily, but they're not really the best person maybe to be in your life, or to be generally in, you know, maybe somebody that you care about their life. Although that's tricky, right? We can't tell people who they can have in their life. So, you know, but I do see a dragon over here, and I wonder if they are not a very angry person. And, gosh, I feel like I almost want to redo this. I want to start this reading over. I don't like when we get into these kind of readings where it's like, you know, it feels like, I don't know, like somebody just who gets so close to your face with their anger. You can just feel them, you know. And, I see a kangaroo here, and it looks like it has maybe a baby in its little pouch. And so I almost wonder if you are coming from kind of a parental standpoint. Maybe this is somebody in your child's life, or somebody who you feel is like a kid to you, a child to you. But there's really that instinct of protection, and it's a deep protection because there's that pocket. Like you know, you see the marsupials, they carry their little babies around in their pockets forever. It's a lot of work. So, you know, it's really a very close parenting style, I would say. But, you know, I think about how I feel now about my kid. And, of course, she has to make her own mistakes. But just now being a parent, you get into that mode, right? And you see your other family members, younger family members. You just want to tell them, like, skip all this stuff. I went through it. And I think, gosh, people used to say stuff like that to me when I was a kid. And I just went on through some of that hardship. And sometimes you can't stop them. But, you know, I think the thing is that we have to temper ourselves so we don't give up on them either. And, but we also have to protect ourselves and our ability to have a decent life. So it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to know what to do. It's a sticky situation. You know, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. And, you know, I feel like you're pretty good at staying pretty neutral about things. I think this is something that you have to watch and keep kind of close to your heart. I don't see a conclusion coming soon. No outcome, really. But I think that you are looking for more information, and you're going to continue to go down that path of collecting it. You're not somebody that people can get over on very easily. And they may not realize that because you're not really very confrontational. You maybe don't talk too much. You know, you kind of do your thing, you keep to yourself for the most part, and you don't like to get involved in other people's things. But when it's brought to your domain, that's different. When it's about your family, that's different. And here I see somebody, it looks like a diver, doesn't it? With like a, what's it called? Like a diving tank on the back there. And you know, I really think that you are getting down in there, really going on quite a mission. I imagine looking for the, you know, juicy details of this person who is causing these problems. And, you know, all I can say is keep documentation, and if you need it, it's there, you know. I wish this was a happier reading. I really do. I feel like I need to start over. But I can't do that. Because really, it is what it is, you know. It comes as it is, and it's not always what I want it to be. I like when it's just happiness, success, creativity. Those are the ones. But you know what? Then these things happen, and you know, real life kind of hits you, and you have to, not real life, but you know, the nitty gritty of life. Now I see a little, it looks like a fox, but a person kind of standing here, maybe at a wall. And then we have somebody up here who looks like they're robed. It almost reminds me of a saint, actually. Oops, spilling that on my foot. And so, you know, I feel like there is this sense of just kind of quiet contemplation. And I really feel like you have eyes on this person, on this situation, on whatever's happening. And they don't know yet that you know. Like, you peep game on this person. They don't know that they've already been kind of smelled out. You know, so I also see a heart, and so it looks like an old phonograph, which is like what used to play records and stuff on. And so, you know, I think to temper some of this, I have a person, it looks like they're walking up here. It looks like somebody walking in the wind. I feel like it's important for you to be taking care of yourself, listening to music or dancing or, you know, whatever, putting on the radio to kind of break up the silence. Just not letting yourself succumb to these feelings, emotions. I'm sure that it can be overwhelming. And my goodness, when we go down these rabbit holes of trying to figure somebody out, I think my deal too, this is my other thing, is that I watch, like a lot of us do, right? True crime stuff. And my big indulgence used to be all of the podcasts. I listen to a bunch of different true crime podcasts. Now I do a little bit, but I don't have a lot of time anymore for that. But, you know, you start to see the world through through these paradigms. It really, I mean, the world is really very much tinted the way that, or tinted to the things that you kind of fill your life with. And if you are watching a lot of, you know, stuff with people doing terrible things, it feels like anybody and everybody is doing that kind of stuff. And, you know, we have to temper ourselves there. I've decided that for myself, because it is my instinct. Anytime I have a little downtime, I want to sit down and watch them, you know, the next true crime documentary or whatever. And if I get too far down that rabbit hole, then I am really, truly going to be thinking poorly of most people, you know, and or not poorly, but you know what I mean. You get into that like neighborhood watch mode. You just really skeptical. So I don't know, but you know, be careful, and you know, you have a very protective energy, and that's okay. That's okay. Just don't let it consume you. Don't spend too much time looking people up and reading 50 years of their social medias and that kind of thing. But yeah, so I don't know, Pisces. I'm excited to see what happens next week, because hopefully this isn't going to be a problem anymore. All right, let's see what we have here. Maybe this will change the tone a little bit. Okay, we have the Wild Bohemian Affirmation cards. These are the fire element. And we're going to upside down. I'll show you these. These are pretty. It's like little fairies kind of dancing in the woods. And it says, I am here. Your creative self-expression vivifies others. Your life is for sharing with pure joy. Yeah, I think that that's a, you know, a fair, a lofty goal, but fair to kind of change our focus onto this kind of life. One of joy and pursuits of pure joy. Sharing pure joy. Okay, so I'm going to say thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm, and that helps the channel grow. Other than that, if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next video is coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, let me know. If there is somebody, please don't put their name in the comments. But tell me, I want to know if this resonates with you. Don't dox anybody though, please. No names, no birth dates, no locations. Please, please, please. Okay, we will talk in just a few days. Oh, and I hope you all are having a nice weekend. Here in America, it's a long weekend. That's probably why I sound... We went swimming yesterday and today, and it's been hot, and I feel a little fried, I think, mentally. So, yes. All right, we will talk in just a few days. Bye, Pisces.